Dogfish Head Brewery, Sam Calagione.
It's been a long, strange, but wonderful trip.
From the Boston Beer Company, Jim Cook. Welcome back to the Friday Beer Buzz, Jim.
Well, it's nice to be back.
They're normally from Aberdeenshire in Scotland. From Brewdog, we have James Watt and Martin Dickey. Welcome to the show, guys.
Biggest mission today is just to make other people as passionate about your state's craft beers as we are.
And now, the three-time winner of the Pennsylvania Association of Broadcasters Excellence in Broadcasting Award. The recipient of 2 Pennsylvania Associated Press Broadcasters Association Awards for Excellence, promoting and advancing the craft and microbrew culture in Northeast PA. This is another edition of
The Friday Beer Buzz!
I hear Bill! The Friday Beer Buzz, powered by Sabatini's Pizza and Sabatini's Bottle Shop and Bar in Exeter. Sabatini's, the area's greatest selection of rare craft and imported beers. Growlers and crowlers in 37 rotating drafts at Sabatini's Pizza and Sabatini's Bottle Shop and Bar, Wyoming Avenue in Exeter. We have Lindo Sabatini of Sabatini's with us. Hi, Lindo.
Good morning.
Good morning. And we have Bill from My Beer Buzz, who's back after quite the adventure out west.
Happy Friday. Did you miss me?
Oh, we missed you.
I just thought you were being very shy. No, welcome
We
back.
have been trying to, thank you. We've been trying to pull off this trip. This is the third time we've tried to do this trip, and COVID got us one year, and the previous year a job issue got us, and so we finally pulled it off. 8 different destinations, 2 different deserts, all over the place. 3,000 miles of driving, 200 miles of hiking. It was a wonderful adventure.
Wow. Well, all I have to say is I'm glad you're alive because I worried about you when I saw Death Valley, okay? That made me scared.
Yeah, Death Valley, I will say 2 things about Death Valley. One is you don't understand hot. I mean, we've been to the bottom of the Grand Canyon, it's 112 degrees. You don't understand the word hot until you've been in Death Valley. But the scenery is just
It is breathtaking.
otherworldly. I mean,
it is.
It's like being on Mars or Pluto or something. You just cannot believe it. And you go from, we were at a peak that was 11,000 feet high, and then not right next to it, but a few miles away next to it is 282 feet below sea level in the Badwater Basin. I mean, just an amazing
That's crazy.
place.
Crazy. All right. Well, I'm sure we have lots of beer news to get to.
We do. We're playing catch-up on beer news. And let's start with sort of the normal beer news, and the one that I think will excite people the most. Founders Brewing Company is releasing something called, they have a famous beer called KBS, Kentucky Breakfast Stout. Everybody fights for it and chases it every year. They have a new variant called Cinnamon Vanilla Cocoa KBS. Sounds a little like chocolate cinnamon toast or something like that.
Wow.
It is 12% ABV. I'm anxious to try it. We will definitely get our hands on that one. I assume Lindo will see that one as well. But Cinnamon Vanilla Cocoa KBS, watch for that one. Founders is also doing a series of beers called Crafted in Michigan, where they partner with Michigan-based artists to release unique beers. They're releasing 2 of those beers in the next 2 months. The first one is called Ginger Smiles, and it sounds like a Gilligan's Island reference, but it is not. It is a reference to artist Isan Summersall, and it is a rum barrel-aged golden strong ale with ginger and guava. Now try to wrap your brain around that one.
It's quite complicated.
They're also doing something called Sky Shift with husband and wife artists, and their artist firm is called Arsenal Handicraft. And Sky Shift will be a blueberry chamomile gosa. A gosa is a sour wheat ale with salt, so try to, again, wrap your brain around chamomile, salt, and sour all at the same time.
Wow, that is
A little scary.
that's a beer that needs its own aisle at Wegmans. That's amazing.
So that's our normal beer news. Now we have the beer news that makes you go, or what? Goose Island. Goose Island is responsible for a lot of our what beers on the Friday Beer Buzz. They are doing their normal Goose Island Bourbon County Stout variants, and we've had a few of them we've mentioned in our news already, but they are doing one called Applewood Stout, and I have some new ones coming next week. that are even more unique than those. But they're doing one that's aged on applewood, and that's kind of a what with a question mark. But it's finished on applewood. They literally finished the beer on apple tree wood, so it imparts some acidic apple flavors, some sort of cidery flavors. But here's the one that everybody has been hitting me up all week long about. Goose Island is doing a bourbon barrel aged seltzer. Yes, 6.1% ABV. You try to picture a seltzer and then age that seltzer in bourbon barrel. Now, I don't know about you, bourbon barrel and seltzer, those two don't go together in my brain.
Bourbon barrel aged water is what you just said.
Yeah, I know. So sparkling water, right? So you got to have that.
It's the bubbly.
So they're being very vague about it right now because they've only shown off what is called original. And like Linda said, I can only imagine that original is sort of maybe a non-fruit variant, maybe just sort of bourbon water kind of thing. So watch for that one.
No.
There's another one. Yeah, no, I refuse. You know, the comments on Twitter for this one have been everything from, capital why would they do this, to I can't wait to try it, to, if it's anything like Bourbon County Stout, which is nothing like Bourbon County Stout, I will love it.
Have there been responses? Have there been responses like, come on, really, what are you doing? What are you really doing? What are you really doing? That can't be it. What's in that?
Goose Island does this thing. I don't know if we've talked about it before. We've talked about it before the show, but I don't know if we've talked about it recently on the show. Goose Island approves labels, and a label costs between $75 and $100 to approve. That they approve these labels that are absolutely fake. I don't know if they do it to throw people off the real labels, or just because they think it's funny to do.
No, they just do it to mess with.
But in any case,
they're messing with you, Bill.
Yeah, I was going to say, they do it to mess with me. I don't know. So I think this one's real. It doesn't fall into the Bourbon County line of beverages, which is where all the fakes have been coming from. So we'll see. And as a teaser, I have a Bourbon County Stout variant for you for next week's news that I think may be so fake it's real. So stay tuned for that.
That's interesting.
We have one last little tidbit of beer news, and this one excites me. Bell's does a beer every year called Oberon, and we've had it on the show. We've done it many times in the show. We've done variants on the show. We even got Larry Bell to recite a line from his 9th grade Shakespeare poem where he played Oberon. They are coming out with a new variant called Uberon. And here's another one that's going to make you say, what? Uberon is a bourbon barrel aged strong American wheat ale that hits 10.3% ABV. Now, if we've had plenty of wheat ales on the show and plenty of imperial wheat ales on the show. We've never had a bourbon barrel wheat ale. So I'm curious and scared about that one as well.
That's on deck. That's on deck to be poured on drafted Sabs next week.
Oh, okay. So that's pretty cool. Big news. All right. So what do we have today? What do we have today with us?
So today, our beer comes from Left Hand Brewing Company in Longmont, Colorado, or as we like to call them, the 4th largest craft brewery in Colorado. And it is another one of their famous nitro beers. It is called Gettin Tiki with it.
Ooh.
Getting what now?
Getting
dramatic
tiki.
pause.
Tiki.
Okay.
Tiki.
Okay. Sorry.
Tiki. Gettin Tiki with
I
it.
had smelled
Tiki
it.
bar, like
I smelled it, and I thought I heard
tiki torch.
peachy. Tiki. Getting tiki with it. Got it.
Nice.
Getting tiki with
Now,
it.
many years ago, we used to be able to do music for beers. We would say the beer name, and then the producer would play music. Like this one would probably be Will Smith or something like that. Since then, YouTube came along and said, no, you can't do that.
Right.
But we used to have a lot of fun with it. So Gettin Tiki with it would be an obvious one for some music. It is a pina colada wheat beer, but it has a twist to it. So pina colada, if you're familiar with the pina colada drink, it has pineapple and coconut milk, And so the beer version of that has pineapple, lactose, and coconut, and they use Sabro hops in this, which also imparts a little bit of tropical fruit flavor to it. But the twist here is that this is a nitro beer, and I'm sure Lindo can tell you that nitro is smaller bubbles, so it imparts a softer mouthfeel to the beer versus CO2.
So with a lot of beers, when you have lactose in beers, after it goes through the process of being brewed, people that are lactose intolerant get nervous when they hear the word lactose, but most people aren't affected by beers that have lactose in them.
Just say it. Jason, drink.
Jason, you're fine.
Okay, thank you.
You're okay if you're lactose intolerant to drink this beer.
But what's nice about this beer is I got nervous because I'm not a huge coconut guy in beer. It makes me nervous. I don't want it to taste like suntan lotion.
You don't taste it at all. I don't taste it at all.
But this is really, I mean, you do. For me, it's right at the end. It's really mild. You do get the flavors. Bill, for us, I poured this out of a crowler. So since it was last night, I poured it. So the nitrogen has dissipated a little bit. So the beer's a little different when you get it right on draft, because we do have this on draft right now. And that these flavors, when you're drinking it fresh on nitro, is like a little more intense than this. But this is real mild and easy drinking.
Good. I like this.
Yeah, I usually am very sensitive to coconut. I don't like it, and this is good. Really good.
Yeah, I'm the same. I'm not a coconut fan at all by any stretch of the imagination, and ironically enough, I have the same association Lindo has, that you can put this beer on your arm and it's an SPF 50, and it doesn't taste right. But this one, I think the pineapple is prominent, and the nitrogen. So they put the nitrogen in the packaging when it's in a can. They put it in a liquid form, and they put a little widget. They put a little block in the can, and they tell you to pour it very aggressively, because that converts the liquid nitrogen that they put into the beer into the gas nitrogen. And the gas nitrogen has very small bubbles compared to the typical CO2 bubbles that are in your beer. And it makes for a really soft mouthfeel in a beer that I like. Many of our listeners are familiar with Guinness. Guinness worldwide, world famous stout. And Guinness is a nitro-charged beer in many cases. And I know a lot of places mix nitro and CO2 when they pour something on draft. But Guinness is typically a nitro-charged beer, and it imparts that just creamy, soft mouthfeel into the beer that I think makes the drinking experience even better. In this case, it softens out everything. It takes a little of the acidity out of the pineapple. It enhances a little of the sort of lactose and coconut in it. And I think it makes for a really nice drinking beer.
I like it. I like it a lot. And you said this is on draft. You have this.
just like a lot of the beers we've had the last few weeks. This is another wheat beer, great for drinking this time of the year. Now that we're going to be hitting 80s all summer. This one is low IBU, 15 IBU, 7.5% ABV. We do have it available on draft right now, and also it is in cans as well.
All right, great. So make sure you stop by Sabatini's. We've been drinking Left Hand Brewing, Gettin Tiki with it. Bill, welcome back. Great to have you back and safe.
Thank you.
And glad you got that. You got that done on your bucket list, right? The Friday Beer Buzz.
Yeah. Stay tuned on.
Go ahead.
Stay tuned on Instagram for all the photos.
Oh, I can't wait. It's all right. The Friday Beer Buzz, powered by Sabatini's Pizza and Sabatini's Bottle Shop and Bar in Exeter, the area's greatest selection of rare craft and imported beers. Growlers and Crowlers, 37 rotating drafts at Sabatini's Pizza and Sabatini's Bottle Shop and Bar, Wyoming Avenue in Exeter. The Friday Beer Buzz, bringing good beers and good people together.